before we go into any description or any who, when, how, what, and why, and questions and answer, I think we watch some movies, very short, very quick, and but they will tell a long story. So now is a bit of cinema. 8 double rounds with the Arsenal Firearms 2011 Second Century double barrel pistol. In other words, it was 4,000 grains of payload sent downrange in about 5 seconds. To achieve the same result with a single barrel 9mm pistol, we would need to shoot about 30 rounds with 2 changes of magazine in about 30 seconds. This is performance. Before we go to, there is a short, I believe that about the double barrel pistol, there is nothing to explain. Everybody understands. But we can talk about this. There will be some technical questions that we need to answer, and so very welcome. The strike single barrel service sport whatever pistol is the real story here in terms of innovation. So we will go through a short tutorial with some interesting animation, not very long, only 2-3 minutes. But first let me introduce this new global player, we would like to call it. Group of people, basically a group of friends. Mr. Straczynski, who is my partner and friend, and who is Russian as a surname, you can easily tell, but lives in Europe 20 years. And Massimo Tanfoglio, of course, who everybody knows here, who is 10 years and over leading world champion manufacturer in the APSC sport pistol field. I have been a journalist for 35 years, you know this, so maybe, you know, these things come up in the sky and they coagulate into a nebula, and one day things happen. So this is the good thing of this world, that things happen, you know, and through IWA, through meeting people, ideas, you throw it on the table, let's do it. And so this is basically what we have done. Now, questions will come later. Now I think, Riccardo, se premo va avanti. A small animation, and I will stand here so I can point something by the laser because it's quite important. Se parte. Sì. Okay. This is a simple cut out of the pistol, okay? We have basically 3 patterns here, but of course the engine, the innovation here is the lock. And the lock is, by the way, you will have all these things on the website and high resolution register as media. The website is going to be online in half an hour at 4 o'clock, okay? So there's all the high-res images, explanation charts, PDFs and movies and everything you can download. Basically, as you can see, the lock is sitting here, as on the contrary of most geometric locks in semi-automatic pistols since 100 years, the lock is always, Browning pattern called and modified, is always standing over the trigger hinge. Therefore, you have to add in height the trigger guard position where the finger, the ergonomic interface to the shooter, to the trigger hinge, and then on top you put the locking mechanism pin or ramp, and therefore the whole pistol becomes much higher. This is the first breakthrough. We put the lock in front on the same axle of the trigger pin. So everything is much lower, number 1. Number 2, the lock itself, you can see the 2 flanges of the barrel here. They are separate. The locking block, which is this one, and the barrel, and of course the bolt, the slide. The pin here is not 5mm, it's 4. Why is 4? Because we don't need 5. As you all know, every semi-automatic pistol with pin thinner than 5 breaks, because we have 120, 130, 140 grams of barrel working on the pin. And so the pins break. we could do a pin of 1 millimeter. Why? Because the pin is working only on 25 grams of the block, not on the whole, dependent on the Y axle. The barrel moves 5 millimeters back and forward and stops in this position into the frame, while the block comes up and down only. So the pin serves only to bring 25 grams up and down. And the pin never touches the end run here and there. There's always 2/10 of air freedom, because it's only serving to pull up and down. So only the top face and bottom face are working. The stops could not be there because they're not working on the pin. This is very technical, but it's very important to understand why this system is so revolutionary. So now we watched then the other two patterns are also very important, because this is a double-sided magazine notch, female notch, double-sided traditional magazine notch, ambidextrous magazine release. Through what? Two pieces. One spring fixed in the frame and one push button. You will see the patent later. It's very simple. It's disassembled by hand. No other screws, springs, or anything. The third patent, which I would say the second really, is a safety trigger, which is, for the first time, we have a true single arch best feeling trigger for accuracy shooting on single action, with a safety that is inside, not outside, like Glock and the right. So you don't have that fastidious, long, uncertain pull of two triggers moving instead of one. We have one trigger, and which is roto translating. Until this shoulder is free, because this green part of the trigger is rotating on the spin, it will not draw the transfer bar. Now we see this in the movie. Barrel is completely inline, completely rail guided on four sides in the slide, so that the front resting of the round portion of the barrel could not be there. Doesn't really matter. So this system is ideal for ultra short pistol, ultra short barrel. Accuracy will not change. The accuracy is deriving from the back part of the barrel. Now we see the ghost image of the locking rail. You see the female and male. And now the pin is operating the last little performance and sending the block back up. There we go. And it's locked 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. 24 square millimeters of total locking surface. And this is the second pattern. Rotation, freedom of the shoulder, translation, transfer bar. So from about this portion up, the trigger does not shoot. Any foreign object which will hit the trigger from here on, the trigger will not shoot. You have to intentionally engage this portion of the trigger in order to have the gun shoot. You see the stop after the shoulder is here. Now see when it releases. This is the action of pulling the transfer bar, and then rotation, and this disengages from this hinge. There we go. I think this was clear. We see the go a bit further. The ambidextrous magazine release, which is very interesting. This is a spring. And this is a double 30 degrees cone, almost symmetric, rotational. You can put it in any position, has no index. And the other advantage is that we have contemporary double hook on the magazine. So it's a hooking on both the notches of a conventional non-male protruding magazine body. And as we take this back by hand, this drops free from the frame, and then you can take the spring off as well. Okay. This is the last slide. Okay, now one last couple of words about the situation here with the group of companies. Arsenal Firearms was established last year, and as a multinational, differentiated group of companies. So we have operating facilities in Italy, in Austria, in Russia, and soon elsewhere. As any modern group of industrial companies would do these days. The pistol that you have seen and you will see on the booth when you come will be manufactured, it is actually manufactured right now in Italy in partnership with Fratelli Tanfoglio in Brescia, and also is manufactured in Russia. In Russia, there is a big new wave, a new course of industrialists, entrepreneurs. Many things have changed in the last 20 years, and Russia is very fast and very fastly moving up to the international standards in terms of industry. Probably one last niche of upgrading the industrial level in Russian Federation is the small arms. So this is exactly what Mr. Strashinsky is doing right now. Therefore, we are approaching the issue of manufacturing an entirely new system, gun system, because as you have seen, or you will see at the booth again, there is also LRC extension and other things, so it's a family of guns. We are right in the middle of this. So now I will say no more. We can put some lights on and fire the questions. Matthias, I saw you were writing. I saw you were writing.
I would like to know when will this be available here on the European or German market?
September.
Do you have spoken with some military officials or police officials who are interested for contracting, or would that be too early?
Yes, we do. We are discussing this with the various countries, let's say, and so far pretty high interest. Obviously, as a Russian part of the company, we are discussing this with the Russian authorities, and we have tremendous support. And hopefully, this gun will be in service pretty soon. Also, there is no limitations for any other country.
How long was the development time for this?
This is a tricky question.
You know what? If we'll answer these questions, you're gonna laugh, all of you, because it sounds completely crazy. But from the idea until the time when we got the real gun prototype and shoot with it was 3 months. Okay, and in order to avoid skepticism, we documented every single step.
But let me add also that it was 3 months, but number one, with a phenomenal team in Moscow, and with this gentleman sitting on the other side.
If I may, I would like to say a word. Everybody knows Mr. Tanfolio here. Mr. Tanfolio is the most skeptical guy I've ever met in my life. and when we started discussing this idea with Massimo, in the first thing, he said, "You both guys are nuts, and it's not gonna work." Okay, so
because it never worked before.
Yeah, it never did. So actually, you can address this question to the most skeptical guy in this room.
No, it was a very hard task for them to prepare the sample, and it come through. Now we are working in order to make it easy for production, running. So you know that making in an industrial way is not so easy. We already have contact with suppliers, so we are already in a very fast, advanced production for all the small parts and components. By the way, the frame is already made in plastic, so we just tested before coming here, and all the other parts are on the way.
Is this the normal plastics used for all kinds of?
Well, the normal it's a bit less than normal, you know, because it's a different story. You know, as a magazine release, the spraying, they have technical parts inside. It's a complicated thing, and our suppliers have unfolded in an amazing exercise in delivering in speed of light. You know, we have the frame on the booth, as you see. We will have the combat version, which will be 4 rounds less and shorter, about 1 inch. So we are moving very fast, you know. So basically, but all the same, although, you know, what I would like to clear from now is that this is not 3 prototypes that we are showing, because we are already built more than 20 guns and some 15,000 rounds. So we went
more than 15,000.
probably more. We went through a lot of troubleshooting in the early stages, although our time of development and the pre-industrialization was so compressed. We have done things so fast, but we already have done so many things in this short time. We believe, and Massimo as well, believe in this product 100%.
That answers my next question. That means you are planning the normal holster size test in 5-inch and the sporting or target
Yes.
in 6 inches.
The question is good for the sporting, because you will have noticed that we have only service pistol with integral miniskirt, and the ambidextrous magazine and the trigger field and so forth. Everything concurs in saying that this is going to be a winner in the production category of APS-C. And Bruno Labruna was totally shocked.
Hopefully.
He will be here tomorrow. If you care to come and talk to him, from a shooter, a European champion, you can talk to him and ask him what he thinks about it. From the first, we experienced unexperienced shooters hold this gun for the first time and become good.
We have here, in this press conference room, we have some guys who are professional APS-C shooters who try with this gun and show some crazy results. I'm referring, there's a gentleman who is the vice president of the Russian APS-C Federation, Mr. Kirisenko. So he demonstrated some splits which nobody is risking to believe. Well, sir. The question in Russian, so I will. gentleman is asking if we can find an easier and simpler pistol, would we produce this pistol? My answer is we are open for any kind of cooperation. Мы открыты к любому виду кооперации с радостью.
No more.
You have been so fast in the manufacturing process. Did you find time to establish sales policies? Did you already have contact with importers in different countries in Europe and so far?
It's a very good question. Yes, but
you need to be sold now.
Oh no! Listen. Obviously, we are working on that, and we have Mr. Sheridan, who represents us in the United States. We have Rock, who is representing us in European Union for the part of the world which is like Russia and other countries. We don't need distributors.
Of course.
We can take care of ourselves. But elsewhere, of course, we are in very good hands, in very capable hands. It answers you.
You have shorter than 5 inches or something.
As I was saying before, now this locking system doesn't really rely on the front portion ahead of the lock, so this is ideal for 2 inches, 3 inches, barrel. So.
Shortening normally or often means a pistol that clumsy because it is too short.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a matter of aesthetics, ergonomics, and so forth. So we have started from a full 126, 8 millimeters barrel.
Okay.
So this is the male, let's say, male version of the pistol. And but one thing that we did not discuss is very important. Being so high on the backstrap, we are so high on the backstrap, allows a medium, large hand to be fully in control even in the shorter version of the pistol. So you have the full hand in control. Most of the compact and compact pistols of traditional locks have, if you look at the catalog that you have in your press pack, I compare with only one, with SIG. There is 1 full inch difference between center barrel of SIG and center barrel of Strike, okay? But the mass above the slide, like P99 for instance, to name one, is even more. So we have a huge moving mass which is much higher than us. I mean, most shooters, Andrei can say, they have to adjust to look lower on the hand and unusual, and grip in a different way.
Would we be able to test it?
No, you have to speak louder.
Would we be able to test the gun during your show?
During the show?
No.
Well, it's forbidden. We're going to be arrested immediately. No way.
Now we move on to the next room here.
But you know where we can shoot the gun.
No, this is the good point, Dalan, because we will organize in May sometimes, probably in Italy, a media day. So you register on the website or write to me, and we do shooting. That is the difference, because what?
Where?
Gardona.
Because
Naturally.
where else? I mean, he knows everybody there. So basically, pictures, movies, sound, and words are one thing. Shooting is something
Well,
else.
that's no. I mean, it's absolutely correct. Because whoever shot with this pistol can express the feelings. It's of course it's our child, and we have to praise it. But
So who is available for a fire test in Italy? Our guest, raise a hand.
nobody.
Nobody. Okay, good. No, we will do this in May, around May, sometime in May. Okay, so if the weather is good, we can go and do this. So Bruno will be here tomorrow, La Bruna, and you can speak to him if you want. Just hear from him what he thinks in terms of control of the gun. And also the last piece of the movie that you saw, with a kind of shark tree piece of Steadicam moving towards the target was actually this gentleman who stopped at the target half a meter from the target when Bruno was shooting 20 meters. Okay? So that is the accuracy of the gun, 20 meters handheld, very fast.
And coming back to the sport issue, here in this press room we have a young lady who is a current champion, world champion in IPC, Maria Gushina, just behind you, sitting behind you. Yeah, and she expressed a wish to shoot with this pistol. And this young lady, she knows about the guns. This is the current world champion.
So we hope that she carries on to be the world champion with our
Exactly. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, okay, so now, if there is no more from you, we have some refreshments outside. We can talk informally if you like, whichever. Okay?
No more questions.
Thank you very much.